I would ask that all individuals please stand for the playing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. It's my great privilege to welcome you to the Spring 2025 Bachelor of Science in Public Health, Master of Public Health, and Master of Science graduation ceremony. Thank you for silencing your electronic devices. My name is Dan Gibbons, and it's my privilege to serve as the 5th Dean of Virginia Maryland College of Veterinary Medicine. I am so very pleased to now convene the Spring 2025 commencement ceremony for the Virginia Tech Bachelor of Science in Public Health, Master of Public Health, and Master of Sciences graduates. Graduates, today your names are added to the tens of thousands of individuals who over the past 150 years have received undergraduate and graduate degrees from Virginia Tech. This ceremony is a public recognition of your accomplishments. On behalf of the Virginia Tech faculty, staff, administration, alumni, and our governing board, the Board of Visitors, congratulations. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the stage party. Members of the stage party, please stand as I call your name. Dr. Shannon Johnson, Dr. Nicole Holt, Dr. Carrie Redican, Beth O'Connor, Dr. Ella Austin, Dr. Laura Hungerford, Kelly Ribeiro, Andre Asarian, Luhan Dembele, Ava Gardner, Dr. Andrea Bertke, Dr. Ryan Calder, Dr. Alistair Cohen, Dr. Uba Gautam, Dr. Nick Ruktanachai, and Dr. Ansar Ahmad. I would also like to recognize Becky Jones, Program Assistant, Angela Matthias, BSPH Academic Advisor, Katie Cross, Director of Undergraduate Public Health Academic Advising, Lynn Margheim, Instructional Design Specialist, Anoki Valia, Advancement Program and Event Manager. These individuals have been instrumental in organizing this ceremony. Thank you, Becky, Angela, Katie, Lynn, and Anoki. It is now with great pleasure that I invite to the podium Dr. Ella Austin, Associate Dean for Public Health Programs.
On behalf of all faculty, staff, and students in the Department of Population Health Sciences, congratulations to our graduates. We'd like to welcome and acknowledge your family members and guests. Your support was crucial to their success in the program. But even more, we thank you for the way that you raised them or contributed to their growth that led them to their commitment to public health and to helping others. This is a very special gift from those of you who they will help in the future. I am honored to introduce our graduation speaker, Beth O'Connor. Please welcome Beth O'Connor. Beth O'Connor grew up in rural Minnesota and received her undergraduate degree at the Morris campus of the University of Minnesota before completing her Master of Health Promotion and Education at the University of Cincinnati. She has been the executive director of the Virginia Rural Health Association since 2005 and is also the creator and host of the Rural Health Voice podcast. A dedicated advocate, Beth has served in the leadership of the National Rural Health Association, including chair of the Government Affairs Committee, chair of the State Association Council, vice chair of the Rural Health Congress, and was proud to serve as president of the Board of Trustees in 2022. Most recently, she was appointed to the Virginia Advisory Committee for the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. Beth.
Thank you. Hello, graduates. When you applied to be a student here, you might have known, ut prosim, that I may serve, was a motto of Virginia Tech. Or may not. Perhaps you already knew when you applied that you wanted to study public health. Or you discovered this amazing career choice once you arrived here. Either way, it is fitting and honorable that you chose to study public health at a university with the motto, ut prosim. Because public health is about serving the public. As public health graduates, you have chosen to be leaders by serving others. All the assignments you completed were about serving others. All the research studies were about serving others. All the data tables you analyzed until your eyes crossed and you get dizzy just thinking about calculating our values was about serving others and how to best provide that service. It's easy to bury our heads in those data tables and just see numbers. As future public health leaders, I encourage you to be mindful of the dangers of de-identified data sets. Public health advocates must understand that each of those numbers represents a person, a parent, a child, employee, retiree. Commencement speakers are meant to give good advice. Here's my first. Information without a name or face makes for bad policy. It's easy to conclude people on a chart should eat more vegetables, get more exercise, spend less time scrolling on the internet. Those numbers should behave themselves and change in response to advice from doctors or public health officials. However, humans are not famous for doing what they've been told to do, especially if it's not all that fun. Replace donuts with fresh vegetables just because someone read a spreadsheet? It's not going to happen. You know the term non-compliant that gets written on patient charts when they don't do as they're told? That term is a public health innovation. Because every data point on a spreadsheet is someone's life, we can't lose track of the real humans and their real situations that get scrubbed out of that spreadsheet, which means your advice about eating veggies or wearing a mask or hearing protection at a Metallica concert, all that must be informed by people's values, their economic security, and confidence in voices of authority. You will need to know not only what to say it, but how to say it effectively. So I encourage you, whenever possible, get out in the field and connect with the actual humans you are serving. Find out what is going on in the community in real-world situations, large or small. Make sure your analysis and recommendations still make sense once you step out from behind that computer screen. I'd like to point out something that affects every policy ever made, but isn't always factored into those policies. People don't tend to trust nameless, faceless officials from a department of something they've never heard of. Get into the community. Make your name and face recognizable to that veggies versus donuts decision-making person, and realize they may make their living selling the donuts. Make your recommendations less on nameless, faceless authority than on community trust and mutual understanding. The only way you will ever do that is by getting in there and listening to the people who appear as numbers on your spreadsheets. Notice I said listening, not speaking. That's my second piece of advice. Never, ever forget the persuasive power of listening. People who feel heard, or people who just might believe you when it's your turn to give advice to them. Ecclesiastes tells us there's a time to listen and a time to speak. It's knowing the difference that makes us wise. You will have ample opportunity in your chosen profession to learn when to speak up and when to listen. Listening means you will know when to use your voice and when to use other voices. As a public health worker, you will eventually have the power to speak to some communities directly. This may come later on when you move into management positions, but please remember that early in your career, you will have an immediate yet often overlooked power. You will have the power of being an advocate, speaking up on behalf of others in a meeting or in a report where they might not otherwise be represented. You may know what to say because you've been in the community, or your family history or your life experience may make you the representative. Either way, spend some time cultivating the ability to recognize the subtle yet important differences between the motivations and values of the people where you grew up and the motivations and values of the people you are trying to make healthier. Get out there and listen to the people who look like numbers behaving badly until you meet them in real life. Some call this empathy. It requires believing that everyone wants to be healthy, just like you do, but they may go about getting there in ways your policy hasn't considered, in which case the policy might not work. Please do not forget that you have the power to bring empathy based on lived experience to policy discussions and decisions. You will find opportunities for encouraging community members to use their own voices. Help them speak up for themselves about how they define health and how they go about achieving it. These opportunities may be straightforward or creative. I encourage you to keep your eyes and ears open for them, because the right voice will help you to find problems that may not even be described yet. The right voice in the right accent from the right community member will help you move mountains and mountain people and urban people and public opinion and your bosses and elected officials and the people who write the checks that fund your work. Advice point number 3, ignore imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome will attack your self-confidence in speaking up as that advocate around the table. You won't feel like your creative way of getting to the community is useful or worthwhile if you listen to that imposter voice we all carry in our heads. As public health workers, you have to make sure that real-world information is observed and shared. It's hard to share what you don't believe in. Sometimes it's hard for us to believe in ourselves to fight for what we know is true. So, how do you combat imposter syndrome? You start with the truth. You start with the confidence that you received a top-notch education, which allows you to apply critical thinking to information given to the public. You start with the knowledge that while data can be twisted and manipulated and hidden, data does not lie. Then you recognize that data must be interpreted through experience, that thing we call community fieldwork. You may recognize the name Robert Croyle. Dr. Croyle retired in 2021 as the director of the National Cancer Institute's Division of Cancer Control and Population Sciences. During his tenure, Dr. Croyle made himself beloved to rural health advocates when he said, "We understand that most cancer researchers are clueless about what you do in rural communities." Now, I love that Dr. Croyle addressed rural health directly, but his wise advice also applies to immigrant communities and inner city communities and even communities of middle-class suburbia. Research means little if it is not translated into programs that can be implemented in a practical manner, encompassing the culture, resources, and medical trust in the community you are trying to serve. Public health research cannot exist in a vacuum. If there is an increase in cancer rates here in the New River Valley, that information may be useful to other communities near major rivers. If there is a meningitis outbreak here, small towns with big universities may benefit from knowing the details. National and international public health organizations, such as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the World Health Organization, exist not to just collect and analyze data, but to make sure that it is shared. The CDC and WHO can determine if what's going on in rural Virginia also applies to rural Colorado, or if programs in suburban New York or Los Angeles have the same or different outcomes as the same programs in London or Singapore. The more we compare and contrast, the better we can serve everyone. The CDC Foundation defines public health as the science of protecting and improving the health of people and their communities. The foundation also stipulates that communities can be as small as a local neighborhood or as big as an entire country or even continent. You signed up for a profession that requires not just learning the truth, but communicating the truth to people who may find its practical implications challenging. Donuts versus veggies is bad enough, but what if you find yourself in a position where funding or politics asks you to suppress that truth? I challenge you to find a way. Creativity, ingenuity, determination, and passion are good things in a graduate. There's a saying attributed to Buddha: 3 things cannot be hidden for long: the sun, the moon, and the truth. What you say and how you say it can sometimes be restricted in your job, but we all have access to our own computers and phones after work. A nurse I know worked 12-hour shifts in the ICU during COVID, yet she claimed she saved more lives after work than during it. That nurse got online after work, messaging friends and family, encouraging them to listen to data from the CDC and telling stories about what the COVID ward was really like. The nurse was targeted by a colleague for promoting the COVID vaccine because the hospital system didn't require nurses to vaccinate. So the nurse got an avatar and kept on messaging and saving lives by telling the truth. Data can be twisted. Data can be misinterpreted. It can even be suppressed, but it does not lie. Coupled with direct fieldwork to understand the nuances influencing the numbers, data tells the truth. Find ways to get that truth to your family and friends and communities. Get that truth to your schools and houses of worship. Get the truth to the media and your elected officials. Final piece of advice, graduates: self-care. While you're working with communities as big as the world or as small as a local farmer's market, don't forget that protecting health starts with protecting your own. You are entering the field of public health in an era of political confusion, medical mistrust, and scientific uncertainty. You witnessed a pandemic play out in real time. You've seen a decline in confidence in vaccines and fluoride. You've watched news reports of public health officials who are being threatened, even assaulted, for doing their jobs. Some of you will be searching for employment despite drastic funding cuts to public health programs and research. You'll be working to address health equity just months after the federal administration banned the word equity. We all know the metaphor of the flight attendant instruction to put on your own oxygen mask first. As someone who has spent 30 years in public health and spends about 30 flights a year, let me tell you, self-care is not selfish. It is logical compassion applied to yourself. Perhaps when I said self-care, your mind went to bubble baths and chocolate. I'm talking about something deeper, listening to yourself. In all that listening to communities, be sure you can hear yourself when you need something. It's not a weakness to have needs. We all have them. Sleep, nutrition, social interaction, a certain judicious amount of dark chocolate. Do a case study on yourself. Are you eating enough vegetables? Are you getting enough exercise? Are you spending too much time scrolling through social media? And be kind as you do so. Show the same compassion to yourself that you show to the communities you're trying to help eat better, exercise more, doom scroll less. Self-care is in no way about beating yourself up for not doing better. It is about making the same sensible corrections to your behavior that you ask communities to make after assessing the data. How can you ask others to help themselves if you don't do the same for yourself? Remember that we said every number on a spreadsheet is a human life. That includes your life. You are not just a number in a vast sea of public health employees. You are not just a burnout statistic waiting to happen. You are an individual with a voice, a passion, and a purpose. Know thyself. Protect thyself. Graduating to do so under the time-honored motto, Ut Prosim, make sure you have the strength to serve. I am confident you will serve others through the field of public health because you are strong, because you practice self-care, because you listen, because you know when to speak and when to help others do the speaking, and because you haven't just looked at the data, you've met the people. So, to review, don't let the numbers just be numbers. Go meet the people, listen, and through listening, when to speak up and when to help community members speak for themselves. Imposter syndrome wise. Don't let it silence you or your data. Get the data out there in ways that make sense to your community. Take care of yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally. Apply the same logical compassion to yourself that you show to the communities you serve. That's my advice. Congratulations, graduates. I salute you. I'm proud of you for choosing this important career at such a historic point. Be wise, be cautious, put on your own mask first, listen carefully, and when the time comes, I beg you, do not be silent. Speak the truth. Embody Ut Prosim. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth, for that inspiring presentation and incredible advice. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Carrie Redican, a professor who has inspired all of our students and the founding and current director of the BSPH program. Dr. Redican.
Thank you very much. I have the honor of introducing Andrea Sarian, who is your chosen speaker, your chosen graduation speaker. And Andre is graduating from the Honors College with a Bachelor of Science in Public Health and a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. As an undergraduate, he was a member of the Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets, ultimately serving as company commander of the regimental band, the Highty-Tighties. During his time in the Corps, he was also selected as a scholar in the inaugural cohort of the Defense Civilian Training Corps. Outside the classroom, Andre serves as a paramedic, with multiple fire and rescue agencies across the Roanoke and New River valleys and in his home state of New York. Andre has found his home in public health and community health education by enhancing medical care in local communities through research and training of medical providers. Over the next year, Andre will continue his Master of Public Health and Public Health Education at the Virginia Maryland College of Veterinary Medicine, focusing on the benefits of rural medical education and clinical experiences. Passionate about public health and medical education, Andre aspires to become a physician specializing in EMS and trauma care. Welcome, Andre.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, congratulations to the Virginia Tech class of 2025. To my fellow graduates in the Department of Population Health Sciences, our faculty and staff, mentors, families, and friends, thank you for being here to celebrate this moment with us. Today, we graduate as public health professionals prepared to face a world full of challenges and, just as importantly, full of opportunities. Now, my own public health journey at Virginia Tech began just a bit differently. In fact, it started 1,733 days ago on August 15th, 2020, the first day of my new cadet week with the Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets. That afternoon, I was on my way to a COVID test at Lane Stadium, standing in formation, more or less in marching lines, soaked in rain and sweat, confused and frustrated, and repeating one phrase over and over again from my guide-on, which I still have today, the new cadet Bible, as we say. Global ethical leaders, now more than ever. Back then, I didn't know what it meant. I just wanted to make it to dinner that first day. I kept thinking, why do these cadre or drill instructor cadets hate me? Everything I do is wrong. You learn the hard way that you're never right. I thought I was ready for this robust military-style experience, and spoiler alert, I wasn't. Nobody ever is. But I made it through New Cadet Week, made it through freshman year, and little by little, that phrase, global ethical leaders, now more than ever, started to mean something. Because over the next 4 years, whether on upper quad with the Corps, in paramedic school and on shift with Roanoke County, back home at the firehouse with the Carl Place Hamlet boys, or in the public health classroom, I began shaping my own leadership philosophy. And like any other senior cadet commander trying to be remembered, I gave it a cheesy little formula. RC squared equals I. And I wasn't a math major for a reason, so the math of it is off, but hang with me. R stands for resiliency, failing forward, getting up again and again, and growing through setbacks. C stands for curiosity, the drive to ask why or why not, and to never stop learning. And the other C is creativity, recognizing that the box was never the limit in the first place, and sometimes you just have to make a new one. Put those together, and you get inspiration. Inspiration is what moves people to act, to lead, to care, and to make a difference when it matters most. And that's why we're here today, inspiring public health leaders now more than ever. If that phrase sounds familiar, it's because it's similar to the vision of the Corps of Cadets at Virginia Tech, and it's a call to action of the Association of Schools and Programs of Public Health. But it's also our mission now. At Virginia Tech, we've learned to assess, plan, intervene, and evaluate. We've studied disease trends, policy frameworks, and health disparities. But more importantly, we've learned how to inspire others to live healthier, more empowered lives. Because public health isn't about graphs, policy papers, fancy PowerPoints made on Canva. It's about people. It's about helping someone take the first step toward improving their health. It's about showing up, being present, and listening. It's about believing that real change is possible. And the truth, you don't need a fancy title to be an inspirational leader. Whether you're becoming a physician, hospital administrator, a pilot, or an epidemiologist, or doing something entirely different, inspiration starts with intention, with kindness, and with courage. Because when you inspire others to succeed, we all succeed. So, class 2025, we've made it. Let's carry forward that resiliency, curiosity, and creativity we've built here at Virginia Tech and use that to inspire real change in a world that deeply needs it. Before I close, I just want to say thank you to this department and its faculty, to my peers. You've each impacted me in ways I'll carry for the rest of my life. You've challenged me, supported me, and helped me grow, not just as a student, but as a person, and that I'm truly grateful for. To wrap things up, I want to echo a line from New York Yankees legend Lou Gehrig with a creative Virginia Tech twist. I'd like to thank the good Lord for making me a Hokie, Congratulations, God bless, and go Hokies.
Thank you, Andre. I would also like to introduce the Phi Kappa Phi Medallion recipients, Ava Gardner and Luhan Dembele. Ava is the recipient of the Fall 2020 Population Health Sciences College of Veterinary Medicine Phi Kappa Phi Medallion, and Luhan is the recipient of the Spring 2025 Population Health Sciences College of Veterinary Medicine Phi Kappa Phi Medallion. Phi Kappa Phi is the nation's oldest, largest, and most selective all-discipline honor society. Phi Kappa Phi recognizes and promotes academic excellence in all fields of higher education and engages the community of scholars in service to others. Virginia Tech's chapters of Phi Kappa Phi awards a medallion to a graduating senior in the fall and in spring from each of the 8 Virginia Tech colleges. The Phi Kappa Phi medallion is chosen among those students with the highest academic standing in the college. Ava and Luhan, please represent the highest grade point averages of all the BSPH graduates. Congratulations, Ava and Luhan, on this tremendous honor. Please stand and be recognized. Okay, Luhan has also been awarded membership in Phi Beta Kappa. Phi Beta Kappa is a prestigious honor society. About 10% of all U.S. colleges and universities have Phi Beta Kappa chapters, and less than 10% of their arts and sciences graduates are invited to join. Members include 17 U.S. presidents, 42 Supreme Court justices, more than 150 Nobel laureates, and adding to that distinguished group, congratulations, Len, please stand and be recognized. Luhan is also the recipient of the Department of Population Health Sciences Outstanding Senior Award. The Outstanding Senior Award recipient is a senior with a high GPA and significant contributions and service to the Virginia Tech community, Blacksburg community, and beyond. The recipient has demonstrated empowering others to grow personally and professionally and provides growth opportunities to peers, involvement in organizations both on and off campus, contributing to the growth and development of those organizations during their participation. Congratulations, Luhan. Please stand and be recognized. I would also like to introduce the BSPH students who have been selected for membership in the Delta Omega Public Health Honorary Society. Delta Omega is the honorary society for graduates in public health. Founded in 1924, the society currently has more than 100 chapters. The Delta Mu chapter at Virginia Tech was chartered in March 2017. Membership in Delta Omega honors and dedication of individuals to high-quality public health scholarship, as well as to the protection and advancement of the health of all people. Selection is based on academic excellence and demonstrated qualities of leadership in public health for students and faculty and for alumni. We recognize their accomplishments and that they serve as role models for future public health graduates. Fewer than 10% of undergraduate students nationwide are eligible for this honor. Would the students please stand as I announce their names? Luhan Dembele. Britannia Daniel. Faith Smith. Caroline Wood. Ella Pashi. Teresa Thornton. Andre Asarian. Kayla Ford. And Tanya Tran. Additionally, each chapter may select one honorary member. I'm proud to recognize this year's new honorary member, whom you've already met, Beth O'Connor. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Holt, director of the MPH program and a professor who has inspired our students.
Thank you, Dr. Redican. At this time, it is with great pleasure that I introduce the graduate student speaker, Kelly Ribeiro. So Kelly has been an incredibly active public health student throughout her BSPH and her MPH programs. During her time at Virginia Tech, she has worked with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the University of Virginia School of Medicine, and the Virginia Tech Center for One Health Research. She has served on the executive board of the Virginia Tech Public Health Association and Chi Delta Alpha Service Sorority, supporting public health outreach events and leading service projects in the New River Valley community. In addition to balancing work and her course load, Kelly is a certified group fitness instructor, and she is like legit serious instructor. And so she's instructor for VT's Rec Sports and several other organizations. Kelly is grateful for all the faculty that have guided her and given her the opportunity to serve and learn at Virginia Tech, and she is excited to carry the spirit of UPROSM into her future career. Kelly.
All right, good evening, everybody, and thank you, Dr. Holt, for the introduction. So to our faculty, family, and friends, thank you for joining the class of 2025 as we celebrate this awesome milestone together. So tonight is all about our commitment to improving the health of our communities and our world. And as I reflected on what to talk to you about tonight, I thought back to my own journey in Virginia Tech's public health program. So I first applied to the Bachelor of Science in Public Health program in the fall of 2019 after I had a Zoom call with Dr. Redican, where he ultimately convinced me to choose the BSPH over a degree in biochemistry. So thank you for that, Dr. Redican. And when I got in, I was so excited to tell my friends and neighbors about my next step, but their reactions often came with the same follow-up questions. What is public health? What do you even do with that? And so I would tell them about the unique One Health perspective at VT and my passion for infectious disease control and empowering populations that are too often overlooked. And then, just a few months later, March 2020, all of a sudden, everybody becomes an infectious disease expert. And the entire world sees what we've known all along, how essential public health is. So my grad cap. I am sharing this story with you all today for 3 reasons. Number 1, because we will likely find ourselves in these conversations again, moments where we must not only define public health for people, but advocate for it, and remind others how interconnected we are, how one link in the healthcare system can impact us all. And second, because as we move forward into our careers, it's important to reflect back as to why we started. This field is not easy. There will be setbacks. There will be days when the problems feel too big and the solutions feel just a little bit too out of reach. But reminding ourselves of the passion that led us here will help move us forward. And reason number 3 is because throughout this journey, what stood out to me the most isn't just the coursework or the credentials, but it's the people who choose to see something great in us. My journey started with Dr. Redican, and eventually I became Dr. Holt and Miss Becky's problem or student, depending on who you ask. But what I think is the most important part is to go where you are seen and go where you, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing, and go where you are valued. Go where people don't just recognize your potential, but help you realize it in yourself. So combining these 3 ideas, interconnectedness and advocacy, reflecting on why you started, and appreciating and acknowledging the people that kept you going, can help us all answer those inevitable questions. What is public health? What do you even do with that? And here's what I would say if you were to ask me that now. Public health is not just a field or a degree, but it is a calling. It is a mission to support programs and policies that serve the communities who need it the most. It takes a very special kind of person that takes on this challenge and pushes through systems that seem like they are just afraid to change. So as we step into this next chapter, we'll push that mission together as the compassionate, science-driven, and equitable leaders that the world needs. Thank you to our professors and mentors for pushing us to think bigger and stay curious. Thank you to our family and our friends for lifting us up and keeping us grounded. And thank you, class of 2025, for learning and growing together. I simply cannot wait to see what you do next. Congrats and go Hokies.
Thank you, Kelly. I would also like to now introduce the recipients of the Ryan Aday Memorial Award, Sarah Supplee and Alex Shepard. Ryan Aday was an excellent and highly motivated student who completed his MS in health promotion at Virginia Tech. Shortly after graduation, he was diagnosed with cancer and succumbed to the disease. In his honor, Dr. and Mrs. David Aday created the Ryan Aday Memorial Award. Each spring, the MPH program selects a graduating student from each of our concentrations who has displayed excellence in academics and public health service as an award recipient. So congratulations, Sarah and Alex, on this tremendous honor. Please stand to be recognized. I would also like to introduce the MPH students who have been selected for membership into the Delta Mu chapter of the Delta Omega Honorary Society in Public Health. Would the students please stand as I announce their names? Emma Hare. Sarah Supplee. Brooke Nazar. Victor Spera. Ellie Lloyd. Rebecca Jane Christoph. And Samar El Sadawi. I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our Delta Omega faculty inductee, Alistair Cohen. And our alumni inductees, Samantha Edwards, Madison Medoff, and Lynn Marheim.
Now comes the time that we are here for, the presentation of degrees to the Spring 2025 Bachelor of Science in Public Health graduates. Woo! Yeah. Ushers will direct the graduates to the podium where Anoki Thalia will read their names.
Natalie Maikalski. Christina Herencia.
We gotta give them time to.
Lauren Cox. Caitlin Cotter. Olua Demilola Ola. Catherine Wasenko. Emma Rafkin. Alvaro Hurtado. Erin Elizabeth Mays. Nejla Ali. Kennedy Elizabeth Bonacia. Regard Al-Shami. Riley McKenna Peloquin. Faith Smith. Samika Aher. Dylan Osbey. Grace Hall. Grace DeStefano. Tanya Naomi Knipp. Elise Choburka. Sophia Childs. Taylor Marie Boggs. Ashton Aubriana Bishop. Caroline Claire Massey. Ava Gardner. Luhan Jamia Dembele. Andrea Sarian. Erica Van Skyver. Morgan Leone. Megan Upton. Jerry Fu. Justin Jones. Raimundo Sestoki. Winter New. Connor David Christian. Sydney Jones. Pelagie Hilkija Key. Sadie McMullen. Nikwe Jews. Diamond Hunt. Jordan Jesse Corey. Ella Pochi. Mikhail Bonham. Eileen Lee. Emma Christensen. Moira McKenna. Isabella Grace Escaro. Miranda Jones. Ethan Lyle Witt. Parker Waters. Alexandra Noel Mortimer. Valerie Johanna Jeanette Fortin. Glendy Alicia Marin. Lauren Young. Megan Sandage. Natalie Shrebro. Emily Gainham. McKenna Violetti. Susanna Brahim. Madeline Jane Lindgren. Isis Linder. Teresa Thornton. Caroline Adair Wood. Corin Gabbard. Joe Boris. Lauren Tucker. Jocelyn Moya-Vega. Margaret Wells Turks. Adriana Hope De Leon Barrera. Nicole Godoy. Anna Louise Summers. Yusuf Ramadan. Carlos Coimarti. Stephanie Sifferman. Jana Adams. Catherine Chadwick. Reagan Maynard. Danielle Marsh. Ni Dang. Isabella Tipton. Tonya Tran. Lauren Messerschmidt. Sang Kang. Alicia Karanchi. Michael Ariana McNair. Destiny Sassi Yonsonu. Skylar Nicole Galloway. Jordan Thomas. Mark Osell.
That's yours.
Emerson Clevenger. Milda Russom. Nicole Odibo. Albert Annan. Grace Alexis Martinez. Kayla Ford. Christopher Nicholas. Alina Roach. Simona Tedros. Tanya Daniel. Kenneth Shaw.
Let's give that group of graduates one more round of applause. At this time, I wish to ask all candidates for bachelor's degrees to please rise. In anticipation of the university-wide commencement ceremony on Friday morning, where President Sands, upon recommendation of the faculty and upon the successful completion of your courses of study, will officially confer the bachelor's degrees to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. You may now signify your graduate status by moving your tassel from the right side of your mortarboard to the left. Congratulations and welcome to the Virginia Tech alumni family. Congratulations, Bachelor of Science in Public Health graduates. I would ask that you now please be seated. Now comes the presentation of degrees to the Spring 2025 Master of Public Health and Master of Science graduates. Ushers will direct graduates to the podium where Anoki Valia will read their names.
Julia Chamberlain. Grayson Watson. Gabriella Smith. Brianna Thompson. Sarah Stott. Julie Carlson. Sarah Supley. Alex Shepard. Tylese Johnson. Victor Spera. Brooke Nazar. Emma Hare. Claire Cohen. Gracie Elhurst. Hannah Howell. Farah Iqbal. Kayla Bunsendor. Teriona Smith. Miju Han. Elizabeth Fox. Rebecca Jane Christoph. Ellie Lloyd. Sydney Thompson. Bailey Heatwall. Harper Nick. Brooke Rogers. Jackson Walsh. Chris Boyd, the Hokie Bird. Fiona Atukunda. Samar Al-Sadawi. Kelly Ribeiro. Leila Tabutabai. Lindsay Shuffle.
This is the BMDS one. The master of halal. Yeah, I'm announcing this one.
And the Masters of Science in Biomedical and Veterinary Sciences, Mafizul Islam.
Let's give those master students one more round of applause. At this time, I will ask all Masters of Public Health and Masters of Science students to please rise. In anticipation of the university-wide commencement ceremony on Friday morning, where President Sands, upon recommendation of the faculty and upon successful completion of your courses of study, will officially confer the Master of Public Health and Master of Science degrees to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining, it is my privilege to recognize you as graduates of your master's degree programs. If you have not done so already, you may move your tassel from the right side of your mortarboard to the left. Congratulations, master's degree graduates, and welcome to the Virginia Tech alumni family. Thanks to each of you for celebrating this wonderful and important day with us. As the last event in our graduation ceremony, but before I get to the last event, I need to make one interjection here. You all have heard it from many students. Kerry Redican. Kerry Redican has announced his plans to retire after serving this institution for many, 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 many years with outstanding performance. When he was introduced earlier, I heard someone start the chant, 4 more years. But I do want to take a second to recognize Carrie Redican, who was the founding director of the Bachelor of Science in Public Health program here at Virginia Tech, for the impact and influence that he has had on so many students over the year. Carrie Redican. It's all about the people. Thank you, Carrie Redican. So, as the last event in our graduation ceremony, we ask that our guests in the audience remain seated until all of the faculty and graduates have exited. Graduates, after the departure of the faculty, you will be released to exit to my left, your right, the way you entered, where we will gather for a quick group photograph. Guests, upon the exit of the students, you can please exit to my right, and your graduates will meet you shortly afterwards after we take just a few quick group photographs. So thank you so much for being a part of this amazing evening, and congratulations, graduates.
falls in